Drink Cinema! Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We are two out of three brothers talking about stuff on the screen. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee.
How are you?
I am great.
Excellent. Listeners, when you're hearing this, we've just come off stage. Well, no, I haven't just come off stage.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe, because I scheduled them to be released at midnight.
Maybe.
So when
We had a lot of questions. No, I don't know.
when you are hearing this, listeners, when this episode is released, we will have just come off the stage for our first live event at Pride of Our Footscray.
Yeah.
But the ticket sales money hasn't come through yet, so I had to buy little fat lamb drinks.
Oh,
They're-
fruity tangle.
A little bit on the cheaper
Also,
side of things.
You know I have to drive tonight, yeah.
Oh, my days.
2.4 standard drinks, Lee.
Well, they're only $15 for four of them, so I'm like,
Gosh, that's pretty good.
bargain.
It's a sipping cider.
Are these the UDLs of the 21st century?
No, UDLs are still UDLs. These are ciders.
No. Yeah, but like they're cheap and fruity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just like me.
they're the John Waters of the 21st century.
Fruity.
So this is a little fat lamb brewed fruity tango. And yes, the colourful can is what caught my eye.
Thought so.
So into the Two Drink Cinema stubby holder it goes. And cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see how this goes. Fruity, I expect.
Ooh, very. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah. It's quite a mix.
interesting. It does almost taste like a fruit tingle lifesaver kind of lolly thing.
I can see why they didn't want to assign a single fruit to it,
Because I can't pick one.
because it is just
But
fruity.
I can also pick all of them.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not the worst thing we've drunk on the podcast.
No, it doesn't have cherry brandy in it.
Certainly not as good as the cocktail Mon made us last night.
Definitely not.
So I'm just going to start plugging already.
Yeah.
October, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
Freddy's Revenge. Homoeroticism.
Homoeroticism. If there's not grenadine in that cocktail to symbolise blood, you failed in Halloween year.
Okay, great.
Last year, we made that Nosferatu one.
That was terrible.
It was just like a martini
just-
with a drop of grenadine
No,
in
it
it
was
to
like-
symbolise blood.
Yeah, because we were like, we went to see it live
Oh, yeah.
at Astor Theatre.
Which is fun.
And then we went home and was like, what have we got that's red and vodka?
Yeah. We're actually out of grenadine,
We are.
which is the first time in our entire 3 years that we haven't had grenadine on the shelf.
Yep.
So I will add that to the shopping list. This is not bad.
It's pretty good.
Hawkesbury Brewing Co., Little Fat Lamb. Goes all right.
I've had little fat lambs before, and I don't remember enjoying them.
I think we had the Little Fat Lamb Tropical before.
I feel like you drink little fat lamb not for the taste.
Yeah.
You
That's
drink
why
it
they're
to
the
get
UDLs
fucked
of
up.
the 21st century.
Yeah.
They're also, you're right, 2.4 standard drinks. I didn't look at that, considering we're recording this on a school night. That's that. All right. Speaking of on a school night, we had a late night last night.
We did.
On a school night, but
Yeah.
that was at Pride of Our Footscray, so that's allowed.
Was.
If you were there and you didn't get to chat to us on the night, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, tell us what you think. Give us a suggestion of a future movie. I already thought of another one.
We've booked till December.
Yeah.
The person that I borrowed the Hairspray DVD from,
Oh, yes.
sorry, Village Roadshow, if you're listening, I didn't buy a copy of it,
I would steal a car, so deal with it.
is she has said that she has Lesbian Vampire Killers on DVD.
Oh.
So I've added that to the list.
Oh, gosh.
And she's also a big fan of But I'm a Cheerleader.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that is on the list for a
That's on
future
the
Rainbow
list.
Popcorn episode. So if you also have suggestions, then let us know. Get in touch with us on the socials at 2 out of 3 brothers. But other than Hairspray and for this month, The Lion King, what have you watched, Brett?
Lee, I went to the cinema.
Oh, I did too.
I did a bit of an impulse watch.
Ooh.
Because
You were wandering past the sun at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. You went to a mum and bub session accidentally?
No, I was the youngest person by about... How old's my mum? 35 years-ish.
Right.
At this... I've just aged my mum terribly. 29 years. At this session that was 4:50 on a Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because the Sun Theatre was only showing The Fabulous Four during the day.
What is
during
the Fabulous
week.
Four?
The Fabulous Four is the new movie with Bette Midler, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Megan Mullally, and Susan Sarandon in it.
That poster where I thought that instead of taking a photo of the four of them, they've asked ChatGPT to draw the four of them, but it's accidentally tried to draw them 15 years ago.
Yeah.
To the point where Megan Mullally doesn't look like Megan Mullally.
They all look a bit different than they used to.
Yeah. No, but the poster is particularly
The poster is bad. They've all had a bit of work done.
Yeah.
We're saying that. Nothing against them. Bette
sure
Midler's looks worst.
They said that too.
Yeah.
Particularly, I reckon, Bet.
Oh,
She'd admit it.
You can't deny it.
Yeah, but she'd also just be like, so what? I wanted some shit.
I'm fucking Bette Midler. I can do what I want.
You're still going to come and see my movies, and you did.
And I did. Yep.
Okay. Is it just like 80 for Brady worked well? Let's do some shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it as well.
Mm.
I knew it's like you're watching it and you're just like, yeah, a few laughs here and there, funny things, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, I watched the movie and it was just like, it's about what I thought it would be.
Okay.
It's got its moments. The ladies are pretty good in it. There's some bits that don't make any sense whatsoever.
Are just in there for the laughs.
Yeah. And there's a song and dance number at the end because Bette Midler, so she has to sing and dance.
Yes. Megan Mullally, Cheryl Lee Ralph can also sing.
Yeah. Susan Sarandon was in Rocky Horror.
Cheryl Lee
Get them all
Ralph.
singing.
Cheryl Lee Ralph doesn't like a singer, though.
Singing does not pay the bills.
Ironically, it did for Cheryl Lee
Yeah.
Ralph for a number of years while she was on Broadway.
The interesting thing about the end scene was that Megan Mullally's character in the movie is a singer.
Okay.
But then the singing song at the end is mainly it's just Bette Midler and Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Oh.
So I was like, get them all in there.
Yeah.
It didn't make as much sense. And it was this sing and dance at the end. And it's like they needed to decide whether it was going to be everybody's given it their all and is on time and it's all well choreographed.
Yeah.
Or they're just like, woo, have fun, yay. Because it was like some people were giving it heaps. The woman that was behind Cheryl Lee Ralph was given it plenty. And the man that was standing in between Bette Midler and Cheryl Lee Ralph was like, this is my moment. I am doing everything to take attention away from them that I possibly can.
This is, I'm going to be seen.
Yeah.
And then next time, I'm going to play Bette Midler.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah, he probably would play Bette Midler.
I
Look at his
love
dancing.
I love those extras. As much as we shit on extras in our Two Drink Cinema episodes.
Yeah.
I do love seeing someone who's just like, I have 15 frames of footage.
Yep.
To basically be a screen test.
Yep.
And producers aren't going to know and casting directors aren't going to know that in my show reel, I've just cropped out Bette Midler and Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Yeah.
My show reel just looks like I'm dancing on TV and on the movies.
Yep.
They're not seeing who I've cropped out of this footage.
Like that guy behind Mike Myers in Austin Powers in the opening. He's given it plenty.
Oh, yeah.
And he did well enough to get back for 2 more movies.
He's the one with the orange pants, I think.
Yeah.
Does he do a backflip?
No, he just, fucks the camera.
Oh, he's this one, isn't he?
Is this one? Yeah.
Bit of a shimmy.
It's this one, I think, with the... you know, he's like, but dee and he
yeah.
does his arms
It's
and
all
hip
hips
thrusts.
too.
Dee
You can't see where
dee.
hip thrusting under the desk.
That's where PG.
Great extras. I actually think those kind of extra moments, I feel like sometimes directors allow them.
I think by that point of the movie, the director was like, nobody's watching it for the directing because there was some pretty bad bits in there.
Well, that cast,
Oh, no, I'm not seeing it for the story.
because 3 of them are icons, right? And Cheryl Lee Ralph is big at the moment.
Yeah.
Not shitting on Cheryl Lee Ralph,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
She
yeah,
was
yeah.
Dina Jones on Broadway.
Yeah.
But
Mum didn't know who she was.
she is not Bette Midler.
She's not Bette Midler, Susan
Sarandon.
Yeah.
It definitely goes Bette Midler, Susan Sarandon, Megan Mullally, Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Yes.
It's definitely in that order.
It is, in terms of icon status, yes.
And probably the payroll. And then the director after Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Don't even know. No, there's someone that makes a surprise appearance.
Oh, really?
That was bizarre.
Is it Sam Neill?
No, it looked like they had resurrected this singer from the dead.
Tom Jones?
Couldn't move his face. Could barely move his body. Michael Bolton.
Oh, I was going to guess Donny Osmond, but he actually might be dead.
No, Donny Osmond's not dead.
Okay. Michael Bolton
Michael Bolton
as himself?
as himself was weird, and he was just like, I'm pretty sure he was singing a song that Megan Mullally was recording at the start of the movie, which was in the movie time only a week before that moment. I was very confused.
Maybe it was written by Michael Bolton for Megan Mullally's character.
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. It's not worth it. It was just a funny kind of okay movie that was trying to go, yay, old ladies, woo.
Old ladies are making box office.
Yep.
80 for Brady.
Yep.
Frankie and Grace and Frankie.
Yep.
But none of them are an iconic pair like Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda have become.
Yeah.
If you said, right, Bette Midler's getting married and she invites Barbara Hershey, I'll go and watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if they're not playing their Beaches characters.
No.
Because they do that sometimes.
Although the start was...
Like at some point they'll just decide, Helen Hunt will be just like, I want to have a sitcom again. So they'll just like do another sitcom where Paul Reiser's married to Helen Hunt. But it's not Mad About You 2. It'll just be like something else.
Yeah. There was also at one point during the movie, everybody in the movie decided that, fuck it, let's just talk.
Oh, so they were just having a chat.
Let's talk during the movie.
Oh, the people.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant there was a scene that didn't make sense because it just seemed like Bette Midler was just having a chat to Susan.
The oldies at the back were just like, rah, 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 rah. And then the woman that was directly behind me was just like, oh, that's no good. And then everybody decided that they would just talk and not whisper to each other, which was, if it was an interesting movie, I would have got really annoyed. But I was like, we know why we're here.
Yeah. I've got to show you a painting, right? I took Mum to the Bendigo Art Gallery for Life in Paris, the exhibition.
Yeah.
Because Mum's obsessed with Bendigo.
Yeah.
And then there's a painting, and the painting is called The Latecomers. And this painting is from like 1924. And it is people walking down the row in front of other people, and the two people that are walking on are painted and they give no fucks, and you can see that on their face. And then every person in the row, you and I have made that face at people in a theatre 100 years later.
I might have made that face yesterday when I was in an actual theatre.
I've got to show you that painting, and I'll put it on our socials, because I saw that and Mum and I both laughed, and I said, that's Brett Knight in the movies, and Mum goes, yeah, it is.
I have a new idea for...
Hang on. That's my arena.
I know.
New ideas.
Mine's not just something we will do.
Okay.
It's something that the world needs to do.
All right.
All right? It's a big thing. Hollywood, if you're listening.
Common sense, is that?
You watch a movie and then you pay how much you think it was worth.
Ooh.
And then,
Cinema's already dead, so why not go out with a pay what you feel?
right? Like that restaurant that tried to do it with vegans.
What if you... this is going to be this expanding on your idea. A shit show for scheduling for a theatre, like a cinema complex, right?
Yeah.
And you have worked in a cinema complex, but I don't know if you had anything to do with scheduling other than making sure you scheduled what time you're going to cook more popcorn.
Barely
You
even
book,
did that.
right? You book, but you don't pay. They put
Yes.
a hold. They'd have to put a hold on your credit card so you rock up.
Yeah.
Right? But you book, but don't pay. And then, rather than being in the Grand with 15 people, and in the Barclay
Yeah.
packed,
Yeah.
you booked. Let's say they show all the screenings within like half an hour of each other. That would make scheduling easier.
Yeah.
And whatever has the most bookings gets the big theatre. And then you pay what you feel.
Because it's all digital.
Yeah, it's just pressing play on a
So
DVD
you don't
these
need
days.
to take the reel off and put it in the little thing and then take it over to the next cinema and plug it in and then
The only one at the Sun is their one that is upstairs that's the 70mm.
Yeah, so you'd leave that in.
The 70mm is the 70mm. You know that.
Yeah.
I reckon that we should open a theatre.
We should do it.
Send us a tip. The link is in the episode description and we'll
Yeah,
raise
so we
enough
can
money to
buy a
buy the
cinema.
Sun Theatre.
Yeah. No, they're doing all right.
They are doing all right.
But that's what I was thinking. Like, then I was like, how far do you extend this? Like, I went to dinner the other night, and it was like $30. I'm like, nah, 20.
It's a very interesting concept because it does allow people that... But then part of it is that people are assholes.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Then people are like, oh my God, I just watched Barbie and it was great. Here's $5.
No, but it'll just be like, I just watched Barbie and then it was great, but then there was that one line that Ken said, $5.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best movie I've ever seen, but I can't believe that they joked that Margot Robbie wasn't hot. $5.
Yep.
Like, people are assholes.
I mean,
people
would make better movies.
We used to have the Google review segment. We know people don't understand cinema enough.
Barbara
to
would
actually,
pay $5.
Yeah. Roger Ebert would pay 3.5 out of $40.
But you put a percentage on it, right? So say a movie
Within this
ticket is
range.
$25, and I walk out and go 5 out of 10, $12.50.
I would make people justify it.
Okay.
So like, not like go up to the theatre and say it, but post a review and then...
God, no, people aren't going to do that.
that's true.
All right,
Right.
so we'll just keep cinema the way it is.
We'll buy a theatre and then do it that
Yeah.
way. We'll have a cocktail bar and we'll probably make the money off the cocktail bar, to be fair.
Yeah. So that was my thought when I was watching the movie.
Careful, because we had a live event last night and people are probably listening to this episode going, I don't know about that $15 ticket I just paid for, boys.
Well, fuck off.
Well,
But you know what I mean?
but give us feedback. We're happy to feedback.
Yeah.
And if you think it wasn't worth $15, you got to see a movie.
How much do you think it was worth?
How much do you think it was worth? Get in touch with us on the socials at 2 out of 3 brothers. Don't post it in the comments if you're going to be an asshole.
Yeah. Or do. Might get traction.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, that was my thought.
Something I watched at the cinema recently. It was a big one. I went to the IMAX.
Alien. Did you go to Alien?
Alien Romulus. Good.
I heard it's good.
I'm going to start with my audience criticism.
I have some... Oh, I've already said mine.
Yeah. So most of the stuff that I go to see at IMAX is pretty full because
Yeah.
they don't have heaps of screenings and nerds want to see it on a big screen. The 3 guys that were sitting behind us weren't nerds
Okay.
because as the movie was about to start, they were talking about the franchise and forgot Sigourney Weaver's name. So they weren't nerds. They were just there to see the big alien movie on the IMAX screen.
Okay.
Right?
Also not an impulse buy.
No, because it is a little bit more expensive than a normal movie ticket. The movie starts with a very suspenseful scene that you would appreciate because it was silent.
And you know what I say?
The suspense is in
made
the
in
silence. And it was tense.
Nice.
Except for that was the point where the guy behind me decided to eat all of his popcorn.
Oh, fuck. Read the room. I hate people like that. Read the room.
There was people talking all through the previews, which annoys me.
Yep.
Right? Because previews, Jerry. But then when the movie starts, calm your shit.
Yep.
But also, this was very clearly, and if you know the franchise, very clearly a directorial creative choice to have zero sound.
Yeah.
Like not even sometimes it's silent, but there's the breathing or the heartbeat.
Because in space,
No one can hear you scream.
can hear you scream,
Well, that's
right?
the thing. And in the trailer, it says, in space, scene. No one can hear, and then it shows a shot of her screaming, but with no sound.
Clever.
So they've got that in the trailer. But this thing was very well done. The opening, it was dead silent except for this guy's popcorn box.
That's when you should be able to say something.
Well, I didn't want to say anything because then I say something and I make even more noise than he's making with the popcorn. Because it was probably only 15 people that heard his popcorn. But everyone else in the cinema, which would have been probably 200 people,
Would have heard you.
would have heard me. But they were also on board with, this is a fucking silent moment of a movie.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's all be silent. Other than that guy,
Yep.
the movie was really good.
Okay.
It fits really well into the franchise, but is also a modern sci-fi horror.
Yep.
One thing, though, it is a little bit subtle if you watch Alien and Aliens.
Okay, which
It's a
one of
little
them?
bit subtle that there's a vagina and a penis. All right? If you don't know this, next time you watch it,
Is that where the penis comes out of his chest?
the big alien, the mouth open, vag, and then
okay.
it is
The
very
little mouth.
phallic, the
Yeah.
thing that comes out, right?
Yeah.
In Alien Romulus, it is not subtle.
So is it like
And
how...
it's even less subtle on a 4-story high IMAX screen when the whole screen is taken up by something that was designed to be subtly a vagina, but is very vagina-like. I saw a meme that was like, I had to change my panties in the middle of the movie. Sorry to anyone who doesn't like the word panties.
Why did they get moist?
The alien-
A 2-for-1.
The alien was moist too.
Ooh.
So if that kind of stuff offends you, don't go. But you've probably not watched much of the Alien franchise up until now if you don't get those kind of things. Very good. The acting is very good in
Who's
the
in it?
movie. No one that I really knew.
Okay.
But there's a couple of
I'll look it up.
callbacks to other things. The director has directed other horror movies. Jenna Ortega is not in it, thankfully, because it's a horror. So, I think she's got some blackmail over the whole of Hollywood to cast her in every horror movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
But she wasn't in it, thankfully. So
Kaylee Spaney.
yeah, she's quite good, the main chick. And they do well to make it female-centered,
I've
as
never heard
the franchise generally has been.
any... Oh, Ian Holm.
Yeah. So he was in the first
He was
one,
in the first one.
and he's also Bilbo Baggins.
He's Bilbo Baggins.
He's in it. He's in it for a bit,
Isn't
which
he
is
in
done
some other movie?
very well. So if you haven't yet, I know it's been out
Chariots
like
of Fire.
3 weeks by now. I would recommend Alien Romulus on as big a screen as you can possibly see it if they're still showing it.
Great.
Very scary, very good. Fits well into the franchise, but has a little modern take on a couple of themes of the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of sci-fi,
Yeah.
I watched a sci-fi TV show
Oh,
that I now have finished. It's finished. It's done.
Black Mirror.
No.
No.
Umbrella Academy.
Oh, okay. It's based on a comic book.
I do know that. It says it in the credits. Yep. Done. They wrapped that up
Good.
quick. I no. Not really. Like, I think it's good, but I feel like this last season, which is only 6 episodes, was just like
6 long episodes?
not really.
Oh.
50 minutes an hour.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Was just like we got to wrap it up.
People want a 5th, but we don't really need to do a 5th.
Yeah,
we
need to wrap this up, and how can we end it quickly? Oh, this thing is happening, and so they have to do this to do this. Done.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I watched the first season. I thought it was good, but it was just a lot of bickering siblings. And I'm like, that's my life. I don't need all of that.
Right. I think that it's one of those TV series that had a great idea for one season and didn't plan much beyond that.
Which is interesting because there seems to be a lot of content in terms of the comics, the graphic novel type things.
Yeah.
Maybe they just haven't done it well enough.
Like How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
First season, great. Then they're like, oh God, what do we do for a second one? Somebody has to die again. Like Only Murders in the Building, which I started watching again too. They have to kill someone in the building. So how can they have that happen every season?
Yeah. Well, Blue Healers, like...
Yeah, but that's just crime.
Yeah, but in terms of
But this is very specific things.
a small space to get a lot of things in.
Yeah.
Blue Healers did it for 12 years.
Yeah,
Mount Thomas, the crime capital of the world.
Yeah.
You just sometimes have to just suspend disbelief or whatever for that.
Yeah, I just think it's just like got a bit out of control. Not out of control.
Went on a bit long.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just make one thing.
Just make one season.
Yep.
One and done. Fantastic. Look at Chernobyl.
Something that only had 2 seasons for an obvious reason that I've rewatched a bit of recently is The Games, just to throw it back. From 1998 and 1999 in the lead up to the 2000 Sydney Olympics. It is funny.
Yeah.
And has not aged as badly as I thought.
Oh, interesting.
There's a very funny section about a trans athlete.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it came up. It was actually Inspector Falcon Price from Blue Healers.
Oh, from Blue Healers.
Yeah.
He's done something else.
Yeah, he was being a bastard in this one too.
Yep.
It has all this... What makes it really good is obviously John Clark and Brian Dorr write really well and write really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like stuff, it's very Utopia, like the different guys that write Utopia.
Yeah.
But it's that very much kind of that style, and it's set in that government-y thing because it was the lead up to the Sydney Olympics. And so there was this bit of back and forth, and then when it got to he's now a woman, I was like, oh, this was 1998. Let's see how this goes. They actually did it very well.
Yeah, that's good.
And so this is one of the things I would say, I don't want to get political, but the thing with the argument, anti-trans or anti-queer people, like, oh, they're from a different generation.
Yeah.
John Clark, 50-something in 1998, manages to write a sketch about a trans athlete pretty sensitively, but also still being funny.
And not offensive. Like, it's not one of those trans jokes that's just funny because it's making fun of them. It's not at their expense.
No.
Right.
It's at the expense of Inspector Falcon Price, who is the one that is trying to get the trans athlete banned from competing.
Right.
Because there's a line where they're like, well, why can't he compete in the men's? Well, because he's a woman. Why was he allowed to compete in the men's? They're like, well, we didn't know he was a man then. Nobody knew he was a man. And then John Clark goes, well, did Consuela? Surely they had some idea. And then it goes back and forwards for a bit. And then John Clark, Inspector Falcon Price, that's not his character name, says all of the men that competed in the men's at Atlanta were men. John's like, well, how did you know? He's like, well, you can tell. Well, you couldn't tell with Consuela.
God. Yeah. Okay.
So it's actually...
It does well to just, like, knock down the stereotypical arguments.
Yeah, and then Gina Riley is in that,
Yeah.
fighting the women's side of things, which balances it well as well. So I've watched half, I reckon, of the first season of the games, and I'm enjoying it.
Do you reckon? It's
very good.
Considering Brisbane 2032.
Do it.
Let's do it. Let's run it now.
Yeah, right.
I've written a TV show in my mind. Mini-series.
Yeah.
So I went and saw Six, the musical.
Yes. Okay, good.
I won't go in depth because
You're wearing the merch.
I'm wearing the merch. But I'm just saying, if anybody wants to see it, we'll see it again.
Yeah.
Very
I was
enjoyable.
talking to Mum,
Yeah.
and
I went and
Mum's
saw it
like,
with Mum.
I'm going to take Brett to Six because it's Henry VIII and the Six Wives, and that's one of the things, he loves the Tudors. And I'm like, yeah, and it's all the songs written by Max. What's his name?
I like the Tudors.
Yeah.
Mum was frothing it.
No, but Mum doesn't quite froth on the Backstreet Boys and the 90s pop music like you do. It's like they've written a musical.
Well, that's
for
what I
you.
said. If it's like Henry VIII's Wives told by Beyonce.
Oh,
I think it was written for me.
I think it's Henry VIII's Wives hosted on Double TFM.
Yeah. Fuck. All right.
Just aging myself
Yeah.
there. Hopefully, listeners, you get it.
Yeah, it was very good. But the TV show I decided to write.
Is it? Hang on. There are 6 women living in 3 apartments near each other, and there's only one guy living in the apartment building.
That's exactly it.
And they're all
He works his way through the building.
murders in the building.
Yeah.
Beheadings
Yeah,
in the
beheadings
building.
in the buildings. Changing the religions in the building. No, it's a mini-series.
Yep.
6-part mini-series.
Okay.
And one episode is about one wife.
Okay.
And then it's from their perspective.
Ah. Big
We know all about him.
Big historical drama, Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah.
All right.
Starring English people.
It is currently the 6th of September.
Yep.
On the record, Brett's idea.
On the record, anybody writes it, I'm suing the shit out of you.
Well, apparently you can't copyright an idea, right? So what they say, what they say to authors, if you have an idea that you want to pitch as a screenplay, like you want to pitch the idea to a TV or a movie producer, write the novel, release that, and then pitch the rights to the novel.
There's probably already a novel.
Because if you write the novel and then Disney make a movie of the same story, you can sue and go, well, you've made a story of my novel. You won't beat Disney, but at least you'll get some more novel sales because you're on the news. So we'll write a novel about it.
All right, great.
Okay.
In terms of audience etiquette as well, 6 goes for max an hour and a half.
And there is an interval, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
If you can't sit still and not have to get up and go out for an hour and a half, don't go.
Yeah. I had to do wheeze in the middle of Alien Romulus, but that was a 2.5 hour movie.
There you go. And you have a shit bladder.
I knew I wasn't going to make it to the end. And so I went in a part early where the tension wasn't too tense.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yep. And people just couldn't work out the seats. This group of maybe 7 people. And this woman just went and sat down in this seat. And then all of our other people were standing going, there's not enough room here. And so she was looking at her tickets, just like, And it was like, there are 2 seats next to you.
Yeah.
Just move over 2 seats and then everybody can fit in. They're clearly your seats.
But also,
Just
it's
sit
like
down.
letter number.
Yeah.
B12
D4.
is B12.
You sunk my battleship.
Sit there. Done.
And
Okay.
the usher was very good
Yeah.
at going like, we were F whatever. Oh, so row F, you're just up there, just on the aisle. 2nd row back.
Oh, well done.
Thanks,
For
mate.
knowing what's seats what.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll go again.
Excellent. All right. Maybe I'll go.
Yeah, if you want to go, I'll go.
You know what song I do really want to see? Show I do really want to see again?
Beauty and the Beast.
Come From Away.
Come From Away.
And there are 2 high-level amateur production companies doing it in the next 6 months, and I feel like I want to go and see both of them. So if you want to go and see Come From Away with me and or us, listener, let us know. Anything else you've watched? They're the main 2 things, Alien and the games for me.
Yeah.
I watched The Voice last night. An episode of The Voice blind auditions. I want to audition, but see, you kind of put your application in now, and I don't know if Adam Lambert's going to sign on again.
What's the worst case scenario? You end up with Leanne Rimes? Yes, that is
No,
the worst case scenario.
is end up with Joel Madden again. He comes back out.
He's not coming back out.
Well, we might.
You could end up with Rita Ora.
That'd be okay.
I wouldn't mind that.
These 4 judges, I reckon, are the best combination of 4 vocalists they've had on the show.
Adam Lambert, Leanne Rimes,
Kate Miller-Heidke and
Kate
Guy Sebastian.
Miller-Heidke.
Yep. There was a woman I saw audition last night. I'm not going to shit on her because I haven't auditioned and she hasn't. That's amazing.
Yeah, great.
She got picked. She sung Kate Miller-Heidke's song from Eurovision.
That's a tough sing.
She sung it very well. She didn't sing it as well as Kate, but she sung it very well. But she also, I think, chose it because in 2015 or whatever year Guy did it, she represented Armenia at Eurovision.
Oh.
So she got to be able to show that she was an opera singer.
Oh, yes.
And talk about meeting Guy at Eurovision. And those were the 2 that buzzed. Who would have thought?
And did Guy, quote, remember her?
Yeah.
From Eurovision?
He was like, oh, we had a great time on stage, didn't we? Yeah, right. Like you remember that guy.
Armenia don't do well in Eurovision.
No. And
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see who they were.
She was great. She was a great singer and sung the song really well. And Kate Miller-Heidke was jokingly pissed because the last note, she actually sung higher than Kate Miller-Heidke did.
Oh, wow.
Which was incredible.
But was she on a giant stilt?
She wasn't.
Well,
and that's what Kate Miller-Heidke said. I did all that and maybe I didn't hit that last high note because I was actually fearing for my life.
Yeah, and she was singing in front of millions of people.
But also...
And she got robbed.
She was a little bit awkward on stage. It was a little bit it was a bit Ray Gun-esque. Not like the dancers on the floor, but just a bit of awkward moving as she sang.
Yeah.
Sung amazingly well. But there were, it's the best 4 singers I reckon they've had. Adam Lambert, unbelievable singer. Kate Miller-Heidke, unbelievable.
Jessica Mauboy, Rita Ora.
See, I wouldn't put... see?
Ricky Martin.
All great performers. Kylie. I love Kylie, but she's not a singer.
Was she on it?
Yeah, she was a judge the year that our friend was on it, and my other friend and I went up to Sydney to watch the filming.
Oh.
And I was too scared, but Christian got up there in the ad break and sung at Kylie.
Bit of the devil, you know?
Nah, I will always love you. Didn't sing at Kylie.
Yeah. It can be very cringe.
Anyway, I just wanted to watch one bit of The Voice because Adam Lambert was going to sing with a contestant, and I just wanted to hear Adam Lambert sing.
Okay.
And then I watched the next hour and a half because that's how reality TV is. I just got hooked and I cried 4 times.
Yeah. Speaking of being sued, do you know who's being sued?
No.
Warner Brothers
4
and Noah Wiley. So Noah Wiley of ER fame.
ER, yeah.
Is starring in a new TV series where he plays a doctor in an emergency room.
Oh.
And it's being produced by the same people that produced ER and made by Warner Brothers, who made ER. And so Michael Crichton...
Yep.
Yeah. Michael Crichton's widow is suing them. Because, you're just making a reboot of ER but not calling it ER, and you're not allowed to do that.
So no one ever is going to be allowed to set a TV series in an emergency room in Chicago?
Well, I don't even know if it's in Chicago. But it's the same star with the same producers and the same people making it.
Yeah, it
That's
probably
what she's
wasn't.
saying.
It probably wasn't their best idea to call it emergency room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. Thank you to everyone that came out last night to see us at Pride of Our Footscray. We'll be there in a month's time. No, I'm not going to risk which button to press because I don't need to play the little jazzy outro. We'll be there in a month's time for Nightmare on Elm Street 2. The recording of our live show at Pride will come out next week, and then we are doing The Lion King. Our top 5 this month is top 5 movies, preferably animated, based on Shakespeare plays. So get in touch with us on the socials if you want to contribute to that list. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Lily. Cheers. Thanks for listening to Two Drink Cinema. We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast was produced and pay our respects to elders past and present.
If you'd like to support the podcasts, either leave a tip or become a member for early access to these episodes by using the link in the show notes.
Join the Facebook group for more chat about the movies we review, and make sure you follow us on the socials to keep up to date.
Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review on your podcast app.
Happy viewing and drink responsibly.